I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Zeke Garcia.
Today we're taking a look at a game called Link City, which has nothing to do with golf. That's, I don't know, Lynx was the big
You're
golf
right.
game.
Okay, I hadn't even put that together. If you
Anyway.
don't see the cover for this game, you might be confused what it's about.
Actually, the cover looks like a generic five and dime party game with those names coming out.
It looks very much like a party game. I do agree with you that I think this kind of description with the word bubbles is better served by being on the back of the box.
Yes.
I would have liked a slightly less busy front, but I think it gets the point across of what it is you are getting.
It's a cooperative party game in which you're building a city. Z's going to show you how to play it.
All right. The game is played over 6 rounds, and we are trying to collectively, cooperatively, get the highest score possible at the end of those 6 rounds. One player begins as the mayor, and the player to their left is the deputy mayor. And so the mayor is going to, from the bag here, the box, we just randomize these locations, and they're going to draw 3 of these. They're going to put them behind their screen. I'll let you peek, but none of the other players should be able to see this. So we've got casino, and they've got main square, and they've got an alien abduction site. So these are random places. If you want to, or you're playing with younger people, you can also choose to let them flip over the tiles to get something that they understand better, or just something you like better. That's up to you. So there we go. So I might, for example, go, okay, swimming pool instead of main square, just because I grasp that a little bit better. Once they're done with that, then the player to your left, as the mayor, the deputy mayor, is going to take these 3 cones, and they are going to place them anywhere in what we've already started as our city here, with the city hall in the middle and 4 random ones around that. And these are going to be placed somewhere next to at least one location out here. You can also put it like so, where it would be touching 2 locations. So let's say I do that. The player who is the mayor has a set of these 3 tiles, and everybody else will be using the other matching sets, okay? So once I've seen what my deputy mayor has done here, then I am going to select where I think these 3 best fit out there. So what have I got? I got a casino, alien abduction site, and a swimming pool. I'm going to put the swimming pool next to the school. Obviously, I would be doing this very quietly. So I'm going to put this one face down next to the swimming pool like that. And then the casino, I think, is going to go next to the consulate. And then the alien abduction site by the church and the castle, sure, why not? Once I've done that, I can then remove this, and the other players now get to see what the buildings are, and they will use these to try to figure out what goes where. So let's say they go, oh, swimming pool, probably by the school. But they'll say, you know, they get these 2 wrong. They go, oh, alien abduction site by the consulate. And then, the alien abduction site by the consulate. And then the casino by the castle and the church. I don't know why they would say that, but let's say they do. Then these get revealed. Everything that is right. Oh, I did do it right. Never mind. Everything that is right gets to go out there in the right location. If something had been wrong, like this, then the tiles that are right go out. The ones that are wrong go anywhere the player wants, but only touching something in a corner, like this. Okay, and then this one, if this was wrong also, then it would go somewhere like that, okay? If you get them all right, you get a bonus tile here, and this is going to go somewhere out there, but being aware that you see the little matching trees on this side. This one cannot have anything there that could be placed because there's no matching tree there. Okay? What you're trying to do while you're doing this is, well, be right, but also these little connections that you're making where the little trees become full trees, that's where you're going for, trying to make as many of those as possible. Okay? Now, if you have a round in which you get all 3 correct, they're all perfect, then you unlock the 4th cone, the white cone, and from now on you would do 4 tiles, all right? Once you're done, this passes to the next player. They get their screen. The new deputy mayor puts out their 3 or 4 cones if you've unlocked the 4th one, anywhere they want to out there. And once again, you get 3 more tiles behind your screen, and you do it again. You are trying to, like I said, get as high a score as possible. And you can see right here on the back, after 6 rounds, you're going to count the full trees. Every tree is 1 point. And then if you get, 40 plus, then you're well connected. Welcome to WoW City. And so on and so on. If you get 60 plus, congratulations, but you cheated. That's not possible. So there you go. That is how you play the game.
Whenever I read rules for games, I usually can sense how much I'm going to like or dislike the game. Mm-hmm. I read it and I'll go, this is one I read the rules and I thought, maybe. I didn't think it would work that well.
Sounds very dry. You put like boring city buildings next to other city buildings and explain why they're there. I'm like, really? City planning is not that fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
as an idea, it's like it doesn't sound like a fun concept.
And yet, this is one of those games where the game is better than the sum of its parts.
Yes.
This, for me, falls into a party game that works and is fun, and at the end, there's a point scoring system in there that we go, cool, yes or no, we don't really care, we had fun playing it.
Yeah.
I took this and played it with people who play almost no games. Like, I'm talking about people who, might be the first game they played in 6 months. Mm-hmm. And it just went over like gangbusters because the discussions, people really like to sit there and argue over, why would John put a nursery next to a prison? And he was like, well, mothers need to go visit the husbands in prison. And I was like, okay, I guess it makes sense in your weird, twisted mind, and everyone's just having a blast with that thing. Just trying to get in someone else's mind. To me, this has some similarities to a game called So Clover, where one person just sits there and, you don't give it anything, and everyone else is sitting there talking about your psyche.
Right. And it works really well. I'm surprised, like you said, the fun and the laughter you can mine from what would appear to come across like a dry theme. And it is kind of a dry theme, but it works well together. I also really like the ramping on that they do with giving you 3 things you need to put out. And then if you get all 3 right, they're like, okay, cool, here's a 4th thing. And you do that in the middle of the game. You don't have to explain it. I mean, when you're teaching to someone like
I don't.
said,
I'm like, oh yeah, now we have 4. That's all
now
I
we
say.
do 4 things. Oh, okay. That's it. The game is clean. It's straightforward. There are almost no rules. And that's what you want from a party game, ultimately. You want that barrier to entry to be super, super low. And for people to be laughing and chatting and sort of mingling, right? This is a good mingling game. It nails that. I really was impressed by it. And again, it doesn't come across like it's going to be a riotous laughter in a box kind of thing.
I also like how that if you mess up, you're still putting those buildings in the city. They're just going to diagonal next to other buildings.
Yeah.
So the city is growing, and there's more and more spots to put stuff, and funny spots just by very nature come up. You know, like there's a school next to a bar, and you're like, well, what would go between a school and a bar? And you're like, well, let's find out.
Yeah.
That's just amusing to me, that sort of thing.
I do. I like that they give you that the buildings are double-sided and you can choose to, they say. You can flip it over if somebody doesn't understand what they're looking at. You're supposed to throw all the tiles in the lid and then shake them up in there. I do wish they would give you a bag. I kind of wish it had come with a bag to kind of stick your hand in there and pull some out. This works fine. It's not that big a deal, but it would have been nice because they are double-sided.
Most of the buildings are pretty well known. There was a lot of discussion on one of them that showed up in a few games I played. I think it's like the free injection. And what does that mean? Is that a place that gives free vaccines? Or was that a place that helps people who are on drugs and it gives them some drugs? Or was
gives
it
them clean syringes? Like, what is the place?
That was one that is not something that, at least for me, was common in the groups I played with. Everyone was always like, what is that? What is that? I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. Flip it to the other side.
Yeah, right. That's fair. There's also those tiles that you earn if you get everything right. Then you earn one of these little tiles.
Yeah.
And they have trees, but only on 3 of the 4 sides.
Yeah, it's kind of like a gamery thing in a game.
It's a little bit gamery. this is one of the very few things that I would say gets in the way of that. Like, you can just play this game. You can just, boom, jump in and play. It's gamer. You have to count the trees. You know, that's kind of where the scoring is. But then if you have the, you know, the airport, then it doesn't have a tree here at the bottom. All right, whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that just felt like one extra roll. But
Yeah.
I really, really like this game. I was surprised. This is the best party game I've played in a long time. I'm giving this one an 8.5 because I have to be honest. I'm giving some credence to it because I like party games that I can throw out and play at anywhere. And up to this point, Just One and Soul Clover have been those kind of games. Right? I bring them out. I teach them. People who've never played games before instantly gravitate. People can stand up, sit down, and leave. This game has that same kind of feel to me. And everyone understands the idea of what buildings should be near what buildings in cities. It just works. And it's worked with all ages. It's really, really fun for me. So 8.5.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I'm giving it an 8, and I agree with everything you're saying. I think it goes into this wonderful category of party games, modern party games, that are incredibly quick to get to the table, and they just rely on sort of innate connections within us. You know, I mean, Codenames was sort of that first salvo that invited this wave of party games to come forth again. This falls right into that grouping. I would say it's late to the party, but there's not that many party games that come out, so it's not. It doesn't feel like, oh, it's just a Johnny-come-lately. It's not. There's not enough of these, I think. And here's one that feels distinct and is fun. It gets an 8 from me. I really do like it.
Well, there you go, folks. That's Link City. So what goes between the Dice Tower and the hospital? Probably fair food.
That's right.
All right. Until next time, I'm Tom Basil.
I'm Z Garcia.
Have fun planning your city.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Basil.